Good to go. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. The film was incredible.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that.
You're not just saying that?
I'm not
How
just
would
saying
I know,
that.
though?
Well.
Well, I'll just take it.
Just take it. It's good. So I read somewhere that you felt really connected to Paige's story. Was there something in particular that stood out to you?
Well, she's this working class kid from this tiny town, pardon me, in England, which I immediately related to. My dad, although not a wrestler, was a plumber and a decorator, and like her family, we communicated a lot through kind of humor and giving each other, trash talk, as it were. But I think chiefly I responded to the fact that she had this dream, this ambition to be a wrestler. In her case, I aspired to be in comedy and in movies, and so. Like her, I had to leave home. I had to sort of pursue that, venturing out on your own and kind of trying to figure your path. And so, and having the support of the family, but also feeling like, I was carrying their expectations with me as much as the dreams I had. And so I just felt a real affinity for her. And I hope that people who don't even like wrestling, have never been to England, can still kind of connect with her story.
I think that's the biggest thing from the film is that it's so well done that it puts it in a way where anyone can relate to it. If you have a dream or a passion, you're gonna relate to it. And if you don't, then you should find a dream or a passion.
Well, that's it. And I think also, Paige herself talks about, feeling like it's a celebration of everyone who feels like an outsider, who feels different, who feels perhaps not totally connected to the world around them, who's trying to find their place in the world. And I think that's what we wanted to celebrate, is that her greatest success, in a way, is being, she describes it, a weirdo and a freak.
I love that. So working with The Rock, he's a super positive person. What was it like working with him, and in what ways did you think he challenged you?
Well, I did a movie in 2010 with The Rock called Tooth Fairy. You're welcome.
Yes.
And we've stayed in touch ever since. A lot of people think we're gym buddies. It's not true.
Clearly.
I do my own workout with him. But I think like him, I share. I'm a hard worker, and I sort of jump in feet first into every project I do. But it really was him who shepherded this whole project. He saw a documentary about Paige and her family. He recognised it was a kind of Rocky-style underdog story that was waiting to be turned into a movie. And, he had the great taste to think that Steve Merchant was the man to bring into the screen.
It was a good call.
He helped me. He took me to WrestleMania. He introduced me to the world of WWE, made me understand how it all operates. He was sort of the kind of, the patron saint of this whole project.
Yeah. And the last question is, there's a whole homage that you do to the wrestlers that kind of paved the way before. In the beginning, was that something that came up in the beginning of the process of production, or just kind of, you were like, oh, we should do this?
Well, one of the things I wanted to do was, as someone who didn't know anything about wrestling, I felt like it was important to kind of explain to the non-wrestling audience exactly what this thing is. And I think, as someone who didn't really know much about it, I started going into the archive. I started seeing just the sheer... that there was this whole years and years of these people that I didn't even really recognise, that for the wrestling fans are superstars, they're gods, And so I sort of felt it was nice to celebrate that and to kind of persuade you, as the person who perhaps isn't a wrestling fan, for the fans, for the people that care about this, it's everything. And it's really, and that's what I love about the family. They're so passionate about this thing called wrestling. And I wanted you, even if you don't care, I wanted you to care about them caring. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Completely.
So hopefully we got there.
You did. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
It was